piece has a lot of challenges in trying to figure out the rhythm and the arc of the story, but also trying to figure out how it plays to our audiences, particularly here at Glimmerglass. Over the past year, I've worked closely with composer Laura Cartman and the librettist Kelly Rourke with their gigantic challenge of combining two Oscar Wilde stories together into a 1-hour children's opera.
Well, the music of Wilde Tales is really a mixture of opera and musical theater. And I'm not sure I even did it consciously. But when you're writing an opera for kids, I think that you want to have it be very theatrical and have some sort of strains of familiarity in it. But part of the challenge is to also introduce them to opera. So I don't think you want to ignore operatic moments and operatic voices. And so this is really what the challenges and what the musical makeup of the piece is. It's this combination of having this piece of fun musical theater that kids and audiences can enjoy, and having a relatively serious story that is quite tragic, and so fits more in the operatic canon.
This is our second year doing a new production at Glimmerglass, and doing a new production at Glimmerglass is very, very thrilling and exciting. One of the most inspiring things about doing a new production is that it's never been done before. So the direction, the choreography, the design, there's no precedent for what has been created, and we get to be the first interpreters of this story. We have great support going from our children's chorus master, Tracy Allen, to our actual chorus master and conductor, David Moody. So working closely with the composer and the librettist and trying to make their vision come alive, we've also been able to work with kids and pull contemporary references or things that matter to them in their life now and bring it to the stage.
So it's been so many years since I was fired.
Yeah.
Doing a production like Wilde Tales is very exciting because the message of the piece, how you can change and how you can bring art into the world and create beauty, I feel is very appropriate for the Glimmerglass setting, but also for these young artists who are coming into themselves as people and learning how to tell a story through music and through dance and through staging.
Working with the Glimmerglass team has been incredible. Kelly and I started collaborating, I guess, just about a year ago. I came up here and I saw the Odyssey, and then we started really talking about this piece, and she and I have had a lot of back and forth.
And then this winter in Manhattan, we did a reading with just 4 singers so we could hear the piece for the first time and try to figure out where extra scene change music, dance music, should lay in line, but really until you get it up on its feet for that very first time, using the people in front of you, using the singers that you have, using the designers in the room to really collaborate as a group and tell the story. You don't know what you're gonna get, and that's really one of the most exciting things about doing a world premiere.
I think also one of the things that I wanted is, it was actually a really, really funny challenge, because Kelly, at the beginning I said, oh, can we have multimedia? Can we trigger audio? And she said, look, it's a barn. We don't even have any electricity. So it's like, okay, what can we do without electricity? So that's when I came up with the idea of incorporating a lot of kids' instruments, boom whackers, toy pianos, triangles, maracas, all of these things that you kind of see in the show. And this was the most magical theater that you've ever been in. So what they did was take a barn sitting out in the middle of the country and work huge theater magic with it.
One of the great things about creating a show with the children's chorus is their authenticity. They are so unique to themselves. There is nothing artificial about them. You are getting simplicity, you're getting truth, and when moments don't work, they let you know, and when moments do work, it is so beautiful. Having children's programs, especially the children's program at Glimmerglass, is very important. We are in a rural community that services central New York, and we have kids coming from an hour and a half away to be part of this program. The 16 kids in the children's chorus here are getting a really unique experience that isn't offered, to my knowledge, many places at all. The opportunity to create a piece from scratch is hard enough for a professional, because Wilde Tales is not a period piece. It should be reflecting the kids in our community and what they have to bring to the table.
It has been a privilege to work with the kids. I think a lot of it is sort of trying to figure that out, trying to figure out something that's simple, but it needs to have a musical integrity. Honestly, writing for kids is really hard. They're putting so much of themselves in it, and I have to say it's a very, very special energy. The first day I came in here and sat and heard the bird chorus at the opening, literally my jaw dropped and I knew everything would be okay. Watching all these kids interacting at the highest possible professional level. What matters is that they have learned what the value of art is. And one of the beautiful things about the Wilde is it very much makes art equivalent to food and to shelter. And so if we're sort of expressing that to not only kids on the stage, but kids in the audience, plus they're having a good time, that's a great accomplishment and one that I feel very, very proud of.
My favorite part about working on this opera, or any new piece in particular, is that moment where it takes the entire community to make it work. And just reading on the paper or just me choreographing, it doesn't make the piece come alive, but it takes that entire community of people, from the actors, the singers, the designers, and you find these little kernels that everybody's contributed, and all of a sudden it blossoms, just like the end of the show. It blossoms and comes alive in a really special, unique way that only happens on new productions, and in my opinion, only happens at Glimmerglass.